Yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I am in Whistler, it's snowing, and I have a Glizzy. So I'm going to have a nice time to talk about the Vancouver Canucks with y'all while I stand here, I'm standing, eating a hot dog. It is, 9 p.m. at night? It is -2, -3 degrees. It is snowing. I was here for the day, and I had a really interesting day. I went skiing for the first time in my life, and I honestly think it might have been a big mistake because I almost died twice. Yeah, please remind me to never go on a blue route as a complete beginner who does not know how to stop ever again. Please remind me to learn how to stop before I go down the paths. This, of course, is me alive, happy, and very grateful to be alive, but maybe about 8 hours ago, things were looking bad as I literally Superman flew into the air after getting my skis tangled up on a branch while going full speed down a blue route that I had no control in stopping over and face planting onto the face of a big snow mound. It was pretty ridiculous, and my friend that watched it, he said that it was the craziest, most out of a cartoon thing he had ever seen, so I gotta treat myself to a Glizzy, baby. Okay, the cheese fell on the ground, so I apologize for that. But with all of this stuff going on, there is some extra things that I think we can talk about as well. Just let me chew my food here first and take in this beautiful scenery. What a great night here in Whistler. You can tell that I'm trying to kill the time because I'm trying to put this down there, but either way, there were some extra things that I did want to talk about with the Vancouver Canucks today. That is also partially the reason why I'm making this video, because we had ourselves Elliotte Friedman, we had ourselves Thomas Drance going out there and making some statements about the Vancouver Canucks that I do think are worth talking about. I don't really want to dive into it too in depth in this commentary because, I'm in the middle of a snowy atmosphere and it's getting a little bit difficult to talk and eat at the same time. But essentially, the Vancouver Canucks are being very careful with how they're navigating the trade front over the next few weeks. We had word from Elliotte Friedman that the Canucks might make some sort of a smaller trade to kind of bolster up their team in the short-term future to get them through this little road trip, to get them through this time when they're not going to have JT Miller. There also was an idea that the Vancouver Canucks might hold off on some big trades until Thatcher Demko is back and the team knows what it is that they have at their disposal. And then there was also an idea floating around, mentioned by, I think it was Thomas Drance, that the Vancouver Canucks don't want to make a top 4 defenseman trade just for the sake of adding a top 4 defenseman. They want to go out there and actually make sure that whatever trade they make is going to help them out in the future. And the Vancouver Canucks are also being very careful in not sacrificing any of that long-term gain. They're being very cautious. They're putting themselves in a spot to value prospects. Tom Willander, Son Arminio, other guys that are in the system, Elias Pettersson, young defensemen that actually do have a chance of being something. The Canucks are not going to go out there and just shell these guys away because they want some short-term rentals. They're being very careful and cautious with what they have and trying to balance out the long-term and the short-term success for the team. It's kind of refreshing to hear about that, honestly, especially when you consider some of the Vancouver Canucks GMing that we have seen in the past, like Jim Benning, for example, who went out there and pretty much did whatever it is that he wanted at any given day, even if it doesn't align with what he wanted to do 2 weeks ago. It was kind of funny how the Vancouver Canucks were run before, especially when you compare it to how cautiously everything is being taken now. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. There were also a few other ideas. Oh yeah, right, the Nikita Zadorov update. Rick Dhaliwal had himself a little segment today where he said that he texted with agent Dan Milstein, and Milstein confirmed that the Vancouver Canucks, at the time of that audio's publication, did not reach out to Nikita Zadorov's agency in a trade capacity. They were not going out there and trying to get him. They weren't going to try to make something happen. That Nikita Zadorov to Vancouver idea was just an idea that was tossed out there by Elliotte Friedman. And of course, it got a lot of people on my YouTube channel, in our comments section, and on social media all up in arms because the idea of bringing him back was always going to be a contentious one here. So, yeah, lots of stuff to go over with the Canucks. And I think there was another thing. Was there one more conversation that I wanted to have here? Honestly, I don't know. We can make some more properly formatted videos by the time I'm back in Richmond and behind my microphone. This is all just, Winter Wonderland stuff. Wow, I should have been standing here. The lighting here is so much better. Look at the glizzy right there, baby. Oh, yeah. Bacon chili cheese dog, or is it just a bacon cheese dog? I'm not too sure, but obviously you can see it's from the DQ. The queen is in town here, baby. Yeah, no, the shadows are a little bit different depending on where it is that I stand, but this, I think, should have been the money angle the entire time, because beautiful Whistler is beautiful. The Olympic rings are a little bit further back behind me, and I am in a spot where after having a really nice relaxation time in the sauna with the buds, having a nice little contest in the steam room, trying to see who could last the longest. I won, by the way. Just doing everything we could to refresh our bodies after a long and treacherous ski session, which was only really just one trek down the mountain. But then again, it was my very first time ever skiing. I kind of had a problem where I was kind of hockey stopping. I was doing the pizza the whole way through, and it was really good on the bunny hill. Going down the bunny hill, I was able to slow down, I was able to stop, I was able to control my speed very easily. But then right after the bunny hill, we went down on a blue path because there wasn't any green paths available, and oh my goodness, it was so terrifying. Just going down at full speed, not being able to stop, the hills up and down, and then there were little nooks and crannies and rivets in the ground, and I was kind of trying to bounce up and maintain my momentum, but also trying to slow down at the same time. I wiped out, I think, 4 or 5 times, which doesn't sound like a lot, but wow, the way I wiped out, it was terrible. I seriously went Superman mode, flying throughout the air, right before the blue path turned into a split where you could continue on the blue path or go into the only green path that they had available. First day at Whistler Blackcomb, right? Obviously, they're going to have people going out there and trying things out, but I guess for our sake, there's a reason why everything was so, I don't want to say cheap, but this was the first day, right? This is the first opening of the season, so maybe the snow wasn't as good, maybe the beginner routes were not as polished as they usually are. So for me and my friends, who are all beginners, by the way, we had a pretty difficult time. It was fun. I don't really regret it. It's a good story to tell, and that's why I wanted to go out there and tell it to you here in this video commentary. But I also wanted to toss out some Vancouver Canucks news just so there is some relevancy to me and my YouTube channel, and also to get a vlog out here in beautiful Whistler, BC. Because wow, this is the life, eh? It's cold, but this hot dog is hot, and I'm going to go out there and continue eating it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, firstly, about all this stuff about Whistler, as well as the Vancouver Canucks and their trade ideas. This was all just kind of splattered around, not really any formal cohesion in the commentary, but I wanted to get a video out there anyway. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.